Hey everyone, my name is Ronak back with another video, and this is the 7th video in the NLP basics playlist. And in this video you are going to learn something known as TF-IDF. So far now we have covered stemming, lemmatization and bag of words. So TF-IDF is used where it can derive much more deeper semantics than the bag of words. Bag of words has some limitations since all of the values that are taken into consideration in the bag of words are with respect to the countings, and these countings are clearly integer values, and what we want is a deeper semantic. When the values for any machine learning algorithm range between 0 to 1, there is a higher chance of involving a better semantical understanding, and that is the same thing we are going to consider here today. So when we talk about TF-IDF, let me walk you through the basic code that I have already shown you in the last tutorial, and then I'll show you the TF-IDF and then the implementation. So I've taken an article. Alright, so this is an article about the Stephenson 218. After that, I am going to pre-process this text, okay, because this text is a general text that the humans can read, but we have to simplify this thing so that a system can process it, and any machine learning algorithm requires it to be processed at a very lower level, not exactly like as we humans learn. So for that I have imported the regular expression. Along with that I am using sentence tokenize. So this is for creating the entire article into separate sentences. Then I'm using stop words. So the stop words are the unnecessary words that are there in the corpus, and we are going to remove that. Followed by that I am going to use the wordnet lemmatizer. So it is a lemmatization process and not the stemming, because lemmatization gives me much more deeper semantics. After that I am initializing the wordnet lemmatizer. Followed by I am using the sentences variable where I send tokenize the article. So my article is converted into sentences, clear sentences, as you can see over here. Followed by that I initialize one lemmatize holder variable in a form of list, and I run an iterative for loop. So this for loop is basically doing all the pre-processing stuff, where I am just initiating with one variable saying keeping important stuff, which uses the regex substitute and keeps all of the stuff which is containing, let's say, lowercase a to z, uppercase a to z, and 0 to 9, and all other things, so let us say symbols, are being converted into spaces. After that I am lowercasing everything because I don't want the same word to be considered as a different association in the bag of words or TF-IDF as the two different words. Okay, so same words represent the same semantics. After that I'm splitting them into words. So these are sentences. I have to split them so that I can apply the lemmatization. In the lemmatization process I use the lemmatization and I split it. So I say this variable in accordance for w, which holds in the splitting, which is the split list, if not w. Okay, so if w is not present in the stop words, I am only going to consider them. Later on I join those. So with the join operation I join them once again into a big corpus, and I then append this corpus. Okay, so this is the entire thing. So this is the pre-processing stuff. So now we have to focus on the TF-IDF. Okay, so what is TF-IDF? So TF-IDF is basically term frequency inverse document frequency. For that TF, that is the TF in the TF-IDF is term frequency, like I said, and IDF is inverse document frequency. So I'll explain to you what these things are. So right before that, we have to first of all consider what are the basic associations that we have to use. Okay, so T is the term, and term is also represented as a word. Okay, so one word in an document, in an entire document, let's say, is known as a term. Followed by that, D is the document. Okay, so it is set of words. So when multiple terms come into association or are correlated, one document is formed. Okay, that is the basic definition. So term frequency, so these are both the separate terms, and a combination of these is going to give us the TF-IDF. So term frequency is basically the number of times a particular word is occurring in the document. So this is a very generic definition for the term frequency. So the formula is given by term frequency, where it takes the terms and document. So these are the associated variables taken into consideration for the formula, and these are represented as the number of terms. Alright, so this states actually the cardinality of the set. So the number of terms in the document divided by the total number of words, alright, the total number of terms in the document. So this actually gives us the TF. Okay, so term frequency, like I said, is the number of the times a particular word is occurring in a document, and what we have to check is the number of the words that are in the document. Okay, the set, the cardinality, that we have to check the count. Alright, so the counted terms in a particular document with respect to the number of the words in the document. So it is a pretty easy equation. Followed by that comes the document frequency. So this is the basis of the IDF, that is inverse document frequency. But right before we dive into inverse document frequency, we have to look at the document frequency, and document frequency is represented by the D, that is the document, followed by C of T. So this C is basically the count. Okay, so all of the terms that are taken into consideration are represented by C. So this is about the document frequency. Now we have to take the inverse document frequency. Now why do we have to take the inverse document frequency? Inverse document frequency gives me a better association. Okay, so if you consider, let's say, any statistical model, or let's say any probabilistic model, you can actually see that whenever I inverse the stuff with respect to, let's say, the total number of documents, or total number of, basically the total number of the entire thing. Okay, so in our case in NLP we talk about corpus. Okay, so whenever I take something like that, I can get a much clearer and distinct value, and we are also using a logarithmic function so that we can smooth it, let's say between 0 to 1. So that is the range we have to maintain. So IDF, that is the inverse document frequency, is represented by the log of, alright, the total number of documents that we have with us divided by 1 plus the document frequency of T. And since the document frequency is given like this, so this is the formula of inverse document frequency. Now we have the term frequency as well as the inverse document frequency, and we have to just multiply them. Okay, so we multiply the TF IDF. So basically we multiply with the TF with the IDF, and we have the TF IDF. And this TF IDF derives semantics much more better than the bag of words. Bag of words is very straightforward. You only maintain the count, and it is very integer oriented. And what we want is a deeper semantic association. Let's say the values which are squashed between 0 to 1. So that actually gives us a clear distinction of the semantics. So semantics basically, so the word semantics I'm talking continuously about, the semantics is the understanding of the language. Since NLP is a very difficult problem to be considered as compared to, let's say, image processing or numerical values, you have to derive a deeper semantic meaning. Okay, because in image you have the pixel values, and these pixel values can be taken into association, but for the NLP we have to consider an entire grammar. Okay, you have to represent a language. That is the thing. So this is the bigger challenge. Anyway, so now we will look at the implementation of the TF-IDF. TF-IDF, when we consider, we are now going to apply using the sklearn. So for that I am going to say from sklearn, I'll take the feature extraction text, and it has something known as TF-IDF vectorizer. So this TF-IDF vectorizer is responsible for our TF-IDF. Now I'll have to initialize this. So I'll say TF-IDF, and I'll initialize this thing, and we have it. And the next step is to fit it. So I'll say x is equal to TF-IDF dot fit transform, and we have to now give it our corpus. So it is lemmatized holder. That was the name of the variable, but I cannot give it like this, otherwise it will just give me a sparse matrix. So for that, like I said, with the bag of words that we did earlier, we have to say toArray, and we have it. So now we have all the values between 0 to 1. So this actually gives us a deeper semantic representation as compared to the bag of words. Bag of words has some limitations. Okay, it is easy to understand, but it has limitations. And similarly, even I would say even TF-IDF has become quite obsolete, because later on the word embeddings came into picture, and then word2vec and the glove, and later on many more embeddings came into picture. So we will actually look them in the near future, because there are a lot of embeddings if we have considered. Okay, so there is token embedding, there is character embedding, and you have to understand them in the depth. But to start with, let's say if you want to construct a very simple project, the bag of words and TF-IDF are the base of it. Obviously I could have taught you the word embeddings directly, but it was better that if we consider the basics first, because this was the thing that was implemented way ago, and after the word2vec and glove came into picture, a lot of representations with the TF-IDF and bag of words became obsolete. This is a very easy implementation. This is associated with the pure machine learning, and those are the problems that are considered with the deep learning. Okay, so we will actually look them in the future, not an issue. And the code to this tutorial will be down in the description box. Okay, so I'll upload this notebook for you to experiment with. And if you like my content, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you get notified every single time whenever I post something new. Okay, so I am now looking forward to complete this NLP basic playlist, and I'll get it done with my best belief and knowledge. So I hope you might have learned something or the other from this tutorial. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.